strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with. Be true to yourself, never lose yourself. Always remember where you came from. My name is Sanaipei Tande, and you're watching Singleton Stories with Biko Zulu. Yeah, when it comes to where we lived in the best neighborhood, Nyali, when Nyali was Nyali those days, when people were not allowed to put up apartments. It was just, bungalows and maisonettes and own compound kind of home. And we lived next to a place we used to call Compound. So Compound, we had 6, 7 homes, and those are the friends that we grew up with. Children who came from similar homes, similar style of parenting, and yeah, the discipline was sort of controlled. Things started to kind of not work out when I was in Standard 8. This was 1998. So we started noticing a few things here and there, like, electricity was cut. Then my dad lost the car. My mom had to take up a job to sell juice in a school just to make ends meet. And so we go to bed at like midnight something, get up by 5 because you have to light the jiko so that you can warm the water, so that you can take a bath, and then start walking. Sometimes all you'd be given is fare, which is one way, and hope that the fare to come back home will find you somehow. So I used to sing with my mom going to church. Interesting time, that one. So I'd sing going to church with her, and then we also had this Ma community, which is a Maasai community. Maasai is in Mombasa. And they would have annual parties. And so I would be asked to sing. And I remember there's an uncle of mine who told my dad, Manase umeketia pesa hapo. Do something about this talent. So I think from a young age, I knew I could sing. Then when we moved to Nairobi in 2001, I moved to a school called St. Lucie Kiriri. And I joined in the 3rd form. And at that time, they already had a choir going on. But when the teacher who was leading the choir heard my voice, they decided to switch the name of the choir to Natasha's Choir. And that freaked me out. You're not a new student as a 3rd former when there's 4th formers, and now all of a sudden you're coming to own everything. But worked out well. So 2003, this is September, joined Kenya Medical Training College, and it's only while I was there that I realized so many students, like some students in my class had been applying for the last 4 years and not getting an opportunity to get in. So my getting in at the first application meant so much that I was not going to mess it up. And that's why when Popstars came up in 2004, in March, before that there was Pop Idols that came in, and my brother had really tried to get me to go. I'm a very shy individual. I'm an introvert. And so I kind of had to find my way out of, going to audition for Pop Idols. So when my brother found out that it was me who, tried to get out of it, when Pop Stars came, he decided, I'm going to tell my parents. And when Daddy says you do, you do. I mean, you're looking at yourself, you're 18 years old, you're living in this house, you will follow the rules. Anyway, so he was very excited about me going to audition, so was my mom. So I went to audition. This was Village Market, Saturday morning. And my dad was so excited, he gave us his car and he took the bus. And I auditioned and they love it. Actually the first song was Alicia Keys, Woman's Worth. Yes, so I did that. And then they said, from this group of 5 people, congratulations, you're going on to the next stage. So go there and get your form, etc, etc. And I go get the form and it says 8 a.m. Monday at the Stanley for the second auditions. I'm like, no. You don't understand. I have class to go to. And they're like, no, it won't take long. It's not the full day. So I'm like, okay, I can go in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I can go to class. So I carried my uniform. I carried my very unflattering blue dress. Like, let me tell you, even if you're Beyonce, you'll not look hot in that thing. It's horrible. And my black shoes and my socks. And I'm there with my bag and I'm waiting to audition. So I audition. And this is where I did the Whitney Houston song. And they say, congratulations, we'll see you in the afternoon session. I'm like, what is happening? You're not understanding. I have double biochemistry this afternoon. And they're like, oh, it won't take long. You know, it's just group session, whatever. I mean, I left there at 6 o'clock. Which school was I going to? Did the second auditions at the Stanley. Then I was called and told, you know what? Congratulations. You've made it to the top. It was the top 12. And so you're going to go to Mombasa for the workshop. And I remember the day we were being given the results. So there was top 6 of us. And so that morning, my dad got up and, you know, we're cleaning the house with my mom, washing dishes, cleaning the house and everything. And then my dad goes like, so I'll see you later. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, no, you know, mommy, cameras and all those things. And I was just like, you can't leave. They're coming here to meet my family so that they can give us the, you know, whatever news it is. And so eventually he stayed. I think he was just not comfortable being around cameras and stuff. And so Patricia Mira said, you told me not to come if it's bad news. So it's good news. And I remember I covered my face because I was not very good with facial expressions at the time. I didn't express anything, good or bad, it doesn't matter. If you tell me you failed, okay. You made it, okay. So I remember my dad going, Sanaipei. Usually I know when he calls me like that, there's a problem. So when he said Sanaipei, I got up so that I can react because he was like, you've been given good news and you're not even reacting. Yeah. And that was that. Joined Popstars and got into this whirlwind of an industry. Yes, my whole family did. I think they had and they have so much faith and so much confidence in the fact that I can do anything. My brother has been my protector, still is my protector till today. Always looking out for me, always having my back. My parents, you know, I mean, I'm not a saint. I've made mistakes in my life, but they've always been there. And it's not being put down. It's not being told, oh, why did you do this? Now this is the result and you're going to fail and you're going to be, you know, you're going to lose this and you're going to lose that. I've never had those words from my parents. It's always approached from, there's a problem here and we need to deal with it. And this kind of leads me to a time in 2015. Between 2013 and 2015, here I am, I'm working for Nation FM as a radio presenter. And I'd taken a week off in 2015, August. And I went back to work on August 31st, Monday. And I get to work and people are stressed, you know, like some are biting their nails, other ones are just having like private conversations, like what are we going to do? And I'm just like, what's happening? Of course, we'd already had rumors that we're going to be fired, but you know, you wait until you're told. And so I got a message from the GM at 1 o'clock. My show used to be the mid-morning show, 10 to 2. And so I got a message and he says, kindly see me after your show. Of course, I'm just trying to be that chick. So I'm just like, you think you can just tell me at 1 to see you at 2? I've got a life, my guy. I've got things to do. So then obviously he says, it's not going to take long. So I know what it is. I know it's a, you know, goodbye. It was good working with you. Don't come back. So I get into the boardroom and you have the GM there and you've got the chief accountant and you've got the HR manager, I think maybe for those people who are going to break down because this chick didn't. And so I was given, here's your letter, here's your check, don't come tomorrow. That's how the job ended. So I started hosting karaoke again. At the time I was living in an apartment that was 55,000. And the only karaokes I could get at the time were paying between 10 and 12,000. And I've worked in like maybe 3 clubs in town, but at this particular time I worked in one on Moy Avenue, and it was terrifying. So you're working karaoke from like 8 to about midnight. You've parked your car downstairs. You can... I always had to go to the balcony to look around and see how safe it is for me to go back to my car to leave, because there were street men. Those were not boys, those were not kids. These are grown-up people with their glues and they're dancing in the middle of the road, and you're thinking, how the hell am I going to get to my car and get home safe? And then just, you know, with the other challenges that I was facing, you would be some clients who are rude. Some clients would like manhandle you and pull you and say, oh, but Sanaipei, you haven't played my song, or I haven't sang, or I didn't get my shot. There was a lot of, I don't want to call it abuse, but for lack of a better word, there was a lot of abuse from some of the clients. And then so you do your whole karaoke night, you fight with the clients the way that you do, and then when you go ask for your money, you're told, oh, the boss didn't leave any money. Please note this is just like 10 to 12,000. Didn't leave the money, or the boss left half the money, or the boss said, because the show was not good tonight, we have to work over the weekend for you to get your money. And that was a trying time, because this money is not just going to me, it's also going home to help. And somebody, after all the abuse that I've been through that night and how dangerous it is for me to even get back to my car, somebody says, oh, you know, you can't get paid today. So this is now 2015 into 2016. 2016 November, I realized I had to move back home.
Toneshwa kidonda machozi kuloa siku kucha. Hey, nimekaa huzuni moyoni pa kwenda sioni ila komi mie.
My parents, like I said, my family has been so supportive. There is not a single time or phase in my life where they shut me out or told me that we can't help you with that. And so this moment in time when things had hit the fan and I needed support, I wasn't embarrassed about what had happened. Even if I might, you know, even if I caused it, which I didn't. But this was a situation, look, you have no money to pay rent. What's your option? Go home.
Nyumbani wanakazana, ndivyo inavyotakikana. Subutu, aibu na laana.
So I moved back 2016. Now, between 2016 and 2017, I had to find a place to stay because I was still hosting karaoke. It's funny, I never saw this board, this signboard saying Kenya Continental Hotel when I was going to Vineyard. I mean, I've been to Vineyard like one too many times. It's now deja vu, let me not get the name wrong. So I went and I spoke to them and I asked them, you know, charges and whatever. So it was 3,500, bed and breakfast. Check-in was 11, check-out was 10, and breakfast was, you know, a thermos of tea. Well, I got a thermos. Everyone else got those tiny little tin things. Thermos because I really liked tea. Eggs, 2 slices of bread, and 2 sausages. That was a tough time. I never imagined that I would be sleeping in a lodging. And as you drive home, which was the lodging, you know, I used to park my car out there and I just break down. Because I used to ask myself, how did I get here? How did I get to be sleeping in a lodging, earning 10,000 shillings after insults and disrespect? And it didn't make sense to me.
Things can change. Well, you can die, you can sigh, you can cry till you're midnight blue. But that's not you, no.
I still cry even when I'm not in a bad place when I'm listening to that song. Because it got me through so many difficult times. And I think the first time I listened to it was back in Mombasa when now things were starting to go bad. That's when I discovered that song. And for me, it's my go-to song. When I feel like there are things that I'm unable to deal with, I don't want to get overwhelmed and start having panic attacks and stuff. It's just, that song tells me that everything will be okay, you're stronger than this, you can make it. And I did. And I did make it.
Wewe mwenyewe umenipigia simu kaniambia nirudi kazini.
Umekubaliana na maneno yangu.
Basi tuifanye hiyo kazi.
So 2016 I had auditioned for, not auditioned per se, I'd been picked to act in a show called Aziza. And 2017 we started shooting the show. And that put me in a good place. You know, you're earning now, so I was able to move back to the same apartment complex. I mentioned that I was building my house. I started building my house a long time ago. But because of the karaoke hosting and, you know, the nightlife, and the money was just going to the wrong things. And when I got serious in 2019, what I have done in my house between 2019 and now is more than I did in 6 years from when I started building it. Hopefully, married. Let me just put a disclaimer there. Marriage is not the ultimate goal in life. Let it be very, very clear. I think I get a lot of that from the fans, and they're like, oh, you should be married now, you're old. And it's sad. It saddens me because I'm thinking, is that all that is in your mind? You're still living in that period of time where if you're not married, then you're not successful. That's very sad. So again, marriage is not my ultimate goal, but it would be wonderful to be married, to have somebody to take care of, because apparently I hear husbands are your firstborn children. It's a lot to deal with. And a mother of 2. Yes, I've picked the number, trust me. If they come out as twins, I'm done. And yeah, just a good person generally. I feel like, because there's so many religions in the world, but I think the one thing that should be made a religion is humanity. Just be kuwa na utu, be humane to people. I think for as long as you're good to people, you're good. You're good. So I want to be that, and I want to help. I see myself helping a lot. I think it's important to note, with me, I'm very careful with friendships. I have always been lucky enough to know genuine people and people who are not genuine. And I also have this not needing to fit in kind of thing. And so I won't pretend for you to be my friend or for me to fit into your circle. And I've been lucky. I basically have 3 very good friends. The first one being my mother. And then my 2 friends, one's in France, one's here. Be true to yourself. Never lose yourself. Always remember where you came from. It doesn't matter where other people are at or what they're doing or how they're surviving. That has nothing to do with you. It's be true to you. If things are not working out, go back and, go back to the drawing board and start again. Don't be fazed. I'm not fazed at all. I mean, there are times that I've heard people say, oh, but you're Sanaipei Tande. You can't be seen here. You can't be doing that. And I'm like, yo, I'm a normal human being. I'm a star when I'm on stage and I perform. The minute I get off that stage, I'm a normal human being. I'm my father and mother's child, and I will do what I deem fit. Okay? So don't be fazed. Don't be moved. Don't be affected by people's lives and what they're doing and how they're doing it. Be true to you, and just don't forget where you're from. Don't forget your people. I know this will probably only apply for people who've come from homes where they're sort of in good terms. There are some who come from homes where they're not in good terms. But identify those people who want good for you and stick to that. Yeah. Oh, just happiness. Just a good life. A good, happy, healthy life. That's it. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel like I'm there. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm in a good space in my personal life, in my career, my relationships with, just friends and family. And I'm healthy and I feel good. And that really is what life is about.